Let's head across to Neeraj to find out how exactly the closing is panning out. And Neeraj, good closing for the week and also good start to the March series.
Yeah, and deceptively so for the Nifty Bank, Navneet, because all through the day today we've been talking about gains in stocks like, Sun Pharma, yes, but the commodity names, the IT names. Nifty Bank is up 1.5%, 370 odd points. And we'll tell you why. A lot of small but important contributions by heavyweights there. But the Nifty and the Sensex not doing too badly. And the mid-cap end of the market too. I think, almost double the percentage of what the large caps have done. Small caps up about 2%. The Nifty mid-cap 100 free is up about 1.7%. So it's really good going for the broader end of the spectrum. No surprise there that the market breadth must be positive. Look at the list of gainers. Sun Pharma up about 6%, Tata Steel 6%, Bharti is about 2.5%. As I said, banks don't feature in the top gainers, but then a clutch of important contributions. Yes Bank, ICICI Bank, IndusInd, Axis, and HDFC Bank about 1.25%, Kotak Bank about 1%. So a lot of important contributions from banks, and which is why there's this long, looks long, and Nifty Bank appears to be doing really, really well. Not too many losers, and that's to be expected on an afternoon like this. Asian Paints about 1.5% low, but that aside, really no meaningful losers to talk about in the session today, at least on the index. Broader markets doing even better, and Navneet, that list must be really long.
Let me start off with the gainers, and you had stocks which were locked in upper circuit today. So start off with Archie's. That was up nearly 20% in today's trading session. So good going for Archie's. The other one which was up and about was Cupid. That too did well in today's trading session. So a lot of these stocks in the broader markets have finally started to gain momentum, considering we were seeing a lot of correction coming by for these stocks. Apex Frozen Foods, that also surged today. So good gain seen for that counter. It closed around the day's high level. The pack which outperformed today, and Neeraj and I were discussing during the show, was the metals pack. We don't know if there is any sort of further capacity shutdown in China, but definitely the way these stocks have bounced back today looks pretty strong. So Hindustan Zinc and Nalco from the broader market space were up and about. The other one which was in focus right from the word go in the morning was Federal Bank. Remember, the board approved 26% buy in Equities Capital. You also had Jefferies coming out with a report giving it a target price of 145. So that stock reacted positively. Another brokerage note from Goldman Sachs and D-Mart giving it a target price of somewhere around 1650. So that also auguring well for the counter today. And Mindtree, what a run that stock has had. It touched its all-time high levels. Huge amount of long build-up also seeing on the futures side. So traders are definitely betting on this counter. On the flip side, you had Jubilant Life. Multiple block deals took place when the market opened, and that stock closing around the day's low mark. And you also had Siemens. The stock was down for the week also, and remember, there were a lot of short positions which are being built for Siemens. There was a news as well that the company is selling its mobility business to its parent company. And finally, Gitanjali, 7th straight day of lower circuit. Not a great week at all. For all the 5 trading sessions this week, it was locked in lower circuit.
Well, it will be too different next week too, unless some news bits of course come out. But this is how the markets have shaped up at close. I'll ask my producer to do the MRR function on the Nifty on the Bloomberg terminal and give us a 5-day return to show what the week has done too. But the day is not bad. Just want to bring up, okay, that's the 5-day return. And this is what the markets have done this week. The Nifty, it's, well, been flat. This move, 1% really helps here. But look at the list of gainers, and technology right up there. TechM, TCS, I think HCL Tech was out there somewhere. Okay, maybe I'm mistaken. Infosys is out here, 2.5%. So technology stocks have done well, and banks have done reasonably well, because likes of Yes Bank and Kotak Mahindra Bank, these are two names. We should bring the camera a bit closer for our viewers to get a better idea of the stocks that have done well. Coal India up about 2.5% too, so not bad going. And Vedanta from the commodity pack is up about 5%. So this set of stocks, the ones on the top are the gainers, and the losers, well, BPCL right down there amongst the top losers. There is some weakness in auto names like Mahindra & Mahindra, Bajaj Auto and Tata Motors. So the auto saga continues. And Dr. Reddy is probably that exception to the pharma rule, actually Cipla too. So there are a couple of names out there which haven't done too well in the pharma pack. But autos probably the losers, banks and technology, the top gainers this week.
Neeraj, Sun Pharma is not featuring in the list of gainers. I think the reason was that it corrected at the start of the week, and finally it's recouped all the losses for the week. So let's see if the reply is positive. You can get to see further upside from these levels, because the gain that one saw today and yesterday was just about recouping the losses that were seen at the start of the week.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the stock does next week as well. And lastly, just want to bring up the volume picture here, because the volumes were very tepid for most part of the trading day today. And the cash market volumes are okay. The F&O volumes for day one seem to be par for the course. The market breadth too would have been terrific in the session today. Final thoughts from our experts though. And Shrikant, to you first. Does this start of the new series, is it a signal of intent of sorts? Would your positioning largely be long, or does the Feb series overhang and the fact that we seem to be in a template of sell the rally as opposed to buy the dips still play on traders' minds?
Neeraj, I think, see, it's definitely a pullback rally that we can expect in the market, and we have to be very, very cautious while adding long positions because it's a pullback. If we compare with other markets like US and Hang Seng, then there already we saw a good amount of a pullback from lower levels, but our markets were just struggling at lower levels because of the news flow, domestic news flow. But yes, today we feel that the market has started its pullback, and we need to sustain about this weekly highest level of 10,500. In case if we see the market is sustaining well below the mark of 10,500 in the next week, I mean to say in the coming week, then it will have again one more round of selling pressure in the market. So what is my contention? I mean to say the requirement, minimum requirement is to sustain well above the mark of 10,500. That will take the market again back to 10,640, 650. And in case if we fail, then market will again try to re-challenge 10,275 and maybe the level of 200 DMA, which is around 10,100.
Sarvendra, what about you? Would you maintain your stance on the downside?
Yes, absolutely. The reason for that would be, as I pointed out, that if you look at such falls, whenever they have happened on top, where the expiry has been around 5% or more on the downside, typically it takes 2 to 3 bars or 3 to 4 months at least to recover those highs or those the high of the previous bar. So with that sense, yes. But yes, with a 4-week decline and almost a 6-7% decline, this might not be the full stop, but definitely it could be a small little comma where there's definitely a bounce. So anybody wanting to trade for that bounce, 100, 150, 200 points, you can select. There's still a basket to select on the long side, which will be defensive names like ITE or an FMCG or some pharma stocks as well. So I think there will be long side ideas into this bounce, and things which have been oversold, high beta, could also give you good bounces. But we have to be very cautious and very, there are two important numbers. I think 10,700, 10,730 thereabouts, the bearish gap area on the Nifty, that is definitely a dark cloud. As long as it is open, it will remain a dark cloud. Same goes for the Bank Nifty. I think 26,200, 26,300 thereabouts, we have again a weekly bearish gap down opening. So I think these two bearish gap down openings will definitely act as a dark cloud cover. And till we don't decisively breach and close above those numbers, I think there will definitely be a case to be cautious and definitely to be a little aggressive and take your sell side bets as well. You will definitely have stop losses either side. So I think the chances of a good sell side trade getting rewarded is much more than on the buy side. So you will try and pick more from the sell side basket. By no means I'm saying that you will not have a buy side basket. We also have a buy side basket, and that will hold the defensives, especially the IT pack, which we have kept long into this decline as well. So my sense is that be cautious. This could definitely be a case for a bounce because we've corrected 4 weeks, 1 or 2 weeks of uptick. But the problem with that formation would be, as I pointed out, that you will have more than 100 head and shoulder distribution tops of varying degrees. Not everything is not same, but of varying degrees, which everybody will start spotting now. So the problem here is that this bounce will get you a right shoulder of head and shoulder. So how people will react to that is still to be seen. And if people come guns blazing, and this time earlier in the decline there were no volumes, if this time people on the sidelines who've not sold into this decline and waited patiently, if their patience runs out and there's a supply coming at a bounce, then I don't think that the market has got the internals to hold that supply, to take that much of supply and soak it at these levels, which means it will sell down and probably soak that at around 97, 10,000. That should be the target range. And that is what I maintain. I maintain 97, 10,000 till we are not going past 10,730, 750 decisively on the Nifty.
All right, Sarvendra as well as Shrikant, appreciate both of you joining us today and taking us through the technical views on the markets and also some individual stocks.